Good morning. I am so encouraged to see all of you this morning and the message you are sending to Washington. I also want to personally thank the Archbishop for having the courage and conviction to stand against a hostile culture and a bullying government. So thank you so much. There are those who are intent on destroying marriage who claim history is on their side. It reminds me of what President Reagan once said. It isn't so much that they are ignorant, it's just that they know so many things that just aren't so. For we know it is the truth. The author of marriage, the author of the marriage covenant, has already determined that marriage is between one man and one woman. It is the truth. It is the truth. But political and cultural change does come through struggle from those who are engaged, not from those sitting on the sidelines. And it can be for good, and it certainly can be for evil. In the end, we believe, we know the truth will win. But we aren't looking out just for the end, for that is already determined. No, we are here today because of what stands between us and the victory at the end is the damage to our families, the possible damage to our children, to our culture, and to our society. And yes, did I mention, we're here to stand for our children, and their children. Every daughter, every son, every child deserves a mom and a dad. They deserve a loving home. And though the ideal is not always possible, it is the goal, it is the truth. And you know what? They deserve our help to make that happen. In our society, in our government, in our churches, in our families, and in our personal lives. Every child in America deserves us to join the battle, join the struggle to protect them, protect marriage, and protect families. Many speakers will talk about the battles beyond Washington, but let me tell you about the battle here in our nation's capital. In short, we are falling behind in the struggle. Those who seek to destroy marriage by redefining it to mean anything, and thus mean nothing, are hard at work. They have captured 4 or 5 justices on the Supreme Court, and these unelected judges sought to redefine marriage and override the express wishes of 50 million Americans and numerous state governments to impose their views on America. And the response in Congress has been nearly deafening silence. On the day of the Supreme Court decisions last year, I was the only congressional advocate of marriage that stood in front of the building, in front of the court. I know a few others made statements, but I'm shocked by the deafening silence. But I moved quickly to set a stake in the ground to introduce the Marriage Protection Amendment. The language we selected was identical to language adopted in 2006. 238 members of Congress voted for that language in 2006. But today, and I'm going to say they're brave colleagues, we only have 58 co-sponsors for the traditional definition of marriage. From 236 to 58. One can surmise we are losing ground here. And yes, much of the political class in Washington is sat quietly by. But is that a surprise? Is that a surprise? Like the president, have these politicians suddenly changed their minds on marriage and family? No, what I say has happened, my friends. The battle, remember, is won by those who are engaged, not by those sitting on the sidelines. Until we get off the sidelines, until we engage and demand every member of Congress stand for marriage, stand for families, stand for our children, they will not engage on our side. So it is up to us to get engaged, to change what happens in Washington. And I want to admit here, and we are about out of time, I have a mission today. I want to say, I love my wife. This October, we will celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary. Thank you, Angela, for putting up with me and putting up with the battle for marriage and life. And I want to close with this, with a message to every man in America, every man in this crowd, every husband in America. Your children need you. Your woman, your wife, she needs you. It's time that you become a real man and stand up for those who need you. Love your family, love your wife, love your children, because they desperately need you. They're desperately looking for a husband. They're desperately looking for a father. Be a real man of God, because this is about you. Marriage is about you and your wife and your children. Thank you, and God bless you for all your efforts.